how you could be such a better parent and a better
Mhm.
partner if
Yeah.
you feel like you have time and space to also be your person and be your own self.
Yeah.
I think those all
Oh,
matter.
hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Thrive Like a Mother podcast. And we have a very special guest on with us today, y'all. This is for the mom whose brain never shuts off. I know you know who I'm talking about. The one with the 27 tabs open. It's me in her brain. The one who knows all the sizes of the shoes and the clothes and when they need to size up, when permission slips are due, what appointments need to be made. All of that I know is just living in your head right now, along with everything you need to do to take care of yourself and your household. And if you have a partner, that's another layer, right? And let's not even talk about friends, family. You get what I'm talking about here. We're going to basically talk about that invisible mental load that
Mhm.
moms carry. That not a lot of people seem to truly understand. And I have Nicole on here with me today. She is a mama of two. She's navigating right now pre-K applications. Yeah, we're almost there. See, bro, almost there. She's also launching a business. I'm so excited for her to share with you about. And she's going to share with us how to really figure out how to commit to things we want
Mhm.
to happen in our lives without burning out. That's the goal, right? And so Nicole, I wanna start here.
Yeah.
You have a 4-year-old and a
Yes.
2-year-old. Those are fun ages. And like I said, you're right now applying to pre-K, which I know that what that first time I remember what that first time feels like.
Mm.
It's a lot. You're also launching a business.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about a typical Tuesday.
Typical
Yeah.
Tuesday. I said,
Yeah.
first we have to think about what activities is happening on a
Mhm.
Tuesday. Like daycare. Are we doing a dress up day? Is
Mhm.
it show and tell? What's
Yeah,
the weather? How am I dressing
that
my
part.
children to go to school? Because this
Mhm.
week was a little rainy.
Yeah.
So you need a raincoat. And
Yeah.
my 4-year-old was like,
I
no,
don't
I
wanna
don't.
wear
I said,
it.
yeah, you do. We had that whole debate going on. So
Oh
typical
god.
Tuesday is anything but typical. It's like, have we made the dinner plans? Did we meal plan?
Yeah,
Sometimes the answer is
maybe.
yes. Sometimes the answer is
Yeah.
no. So it's just a lot going on, just figuring out when are we doing things, when are
Mhm.
things happening, who's going to do it. I think
Yeah.
I'll say I'm fortunate. My partner's locked in.
Mhm.
He also works from home.
Oh, good.
So he can do the pick up, the
Yes.
drop off if I need to like run over to work because I have to drive 50 minutes. I have to
Yeah.
drive to Athens for work
Ooh,
every day.
that's
So
stressful.
that's my commute. Monday to
Yeah.
Friday, one way, 50
Mhm.
minutes each time.
Oh,
Yeah, so we're in the car a lot.
yeah.
So there's no
Yeah.
typical Tuesday, but a lot is the what's on the calendar,
Mhm.
what are we juggling,
Yeah.
how are we doing that divide of what's happening,
Yes.
what's going on.
Love that. I mean, I love it, but I don't love it. I love it in the sense of, like, when you have that type of life, you really have to figure out how to adapt and how to pivot
Yeah,
pretty often,
you
pretty
do.
quickly. So right now in this season, is there anything that has surprised you?
Ooh, let's see. All the things,
Yeah.
yes. So like having two kids and like our youngest is almost two, so she's talking more, clearly
Mhm.
walking better,
Yeah.
bothering her big brother
Yeah.
more. There was a lot of surprise of
Mhm.
like, "Oh, well, she took my car."
Yeah.
And so it's like,
Oh, yeah, that
Riley, don't
dynamic.
take his car, but
Mhm.
also like you don't hit her. So it's a
Yes.
lot of
Oof.
management of their relationship of like,
Yes.
we knew it was happening. Like we
Yeah.
wanted this gap. We planned for this gap. I know
Mhm.
people are like, you can't plan for kids. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Like we said, we want to get pregnant. We had our
Mhm.
first one. We said we want this age gap. We planned our second one.
Mhm.
So all that was intentional. But 2 years,
Yeah.
maybe we should have gone three. Like, a little bit bigger. Because a
Gosh.
lot of it, but it's so cute also because he does
Yeah.
love her. He
Mhm.
loves her. He's like, she's my best friend.
Yeah.
But he wants to like now it's like, I want her to play with me. But I'm like, Riley's tired. She doesn't want
Yeah.
to play. Or
Yeah.
she'll hear him say things like he was at dinner and he's like, oh no. So in her little voice, she's like,
Mhm.
oh no. So it's so
Oh,
cute.
I love
So
it.
those surprises of like,
Yeah.
because we
The
only had,
dynamic.
yeah, the dynamic, like
Yeah.
the mimicking and the copying, which is just been fascinating in of itself.
Yeah.
I think those are all like the daily, like fun, cute surprises. But then the surprise of like, okay, we try to be really mindful.
Mhm.
2026 was a year for me of like, I want intentionality with our time.
Yeah.
I've told people for a long time throughout my life, time is finite. Like, my dad
Mhm.
passed away in high school,
Mhm.
so time has always been relevant for me and how I
Yeah.
view it, how I spend it.
Mm,
So I think if you're giving someone your time, that's the greatest gift you can give someone
that's true.
because you have so many
Yeah.
options and there's only so much of it.
Yeah.
And so I think really this year I went into that intentionality. And so I think I'm surprised when we're looking at our calendar and I'm like, we don't have space to do that. And like we usually are the yes
Mm.
people. Like we'd be running from birthday party to
Mhm.
birthday party, activity to activity. But this has been a lot of like, we need time at home.
Yeah.
Like we just need to be in our house.
That's just it.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a lot of intentionality of the surprise of like, do we need to do that though? Like, do
I
we?
Yeah,
And we
that's
don't.
so interesting.
Yeah, so it's
Yes.
interesting because we're also like go people, and
Mhm.
we want our kids to be involved. We want them to try all the things. I want you to find your passion and do all of that.
Yes.
But how do you really look at that and make it appropriately timed?
Yeah. Yeah, without saying yes to
Yes.
everything. Sometimes we gotta say no.
You have to
Yeah.
say no, like the hard
Mm,
boundary to hold, but you have to say no.
mhm. Yeah. Okay, so in this season where we are learning how to say no, do you feel like there are any parts of your life where you still feel stretched?
Well, I mean, I still think with we're talking about like that invisible mental load, we're talking
Mhm.
about what's happening. So I still feel like
Yeah.
it's the stretch of like we're saying no more often, but we're still balancing a lot
Mhm.
because for us, we're trying to be again very intentional about we have 2 kids.
Yes.
When it was just Henry and Riley
Mhm.
couldn't do a lot of things like, okay,
Mhm.
well, Henry's gonna do soccer, Henry's gonna do
Yes.
T-ball, Henry's gonna do swim, like he's doing all these
Mhm.
activities. But now Riley's almost 2.
Mhm.
So Riley can do gymnastics, Riley can do dance, Riley can
Mhm.
do swim. So it's still really that stretch of like, how are we making sure that Henry's been doing it for 2 years, so we
Yeah.
wanna respect the fact that you're passionate about it. He does ice
Mhm.
skating. He likes to
Oh,
ice
I
skate.
love
Yeah, so he
Mhm.
ice skates. He's a
Yeah,
he's a almost 4-year-old
that's so
with a
fun.
Wednesday night activity.
Wow,
Yeah, we drive to Duluth to go ice skating because
that's
it's the only ice storm
awesome.
around, but it's like, okay, well, Riley should also have time and
Yeah.
space to do things, so I think that's
Mhm.
the mental load that I'm
Yeah.
balancing now of like, okay, but like what's appropriate? Like, I don't want
Mhm.
y'all overcommitted, but like I don't want you to be the sibling that's always having to be taken to your siblings'
Mhm.
things. Like you're not just known as the little
Yeah,
sister of Henry, like you
exactly.
have your own stuff. So like I just looked at it and said, okay, I'm gonna commit. So I found a gymnastics that's near
Mhm.
us in Winder
Yeah.
that they're on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
So Henry can go ice skating with dad.
Yay.
Riley can come to gymnastics with
Mhm.
me. You both have a Wednesday night activity.
Yes.
And okay, and it still helps preserve the weekend because that's the other thing we try to
Yeah.
be really mindful of is preserving that weekend for that family time where
Mhm.
me and my husband aren't taxied from the whole week, the drives, the back and forth, that we can just
Yes.
exist, all be
Mhm.
together
Just
and
be.
not stress. Yeah.
Yeah. Goodness, goodness. Okay, so I know that there are a lot of
Mhm.
women, a lot of
Yeah.
moms listening to us that can relate, juggling all the things, trying to figure out like what that balance is. And it's not really just like you said, like what's on the calendar, what we're doing. It's also like what's up here
Yeah.
that we're having to juggle. So with the mental load, when for you did you start to feel like, okay, this is feeling a little heavy, or even now, because that's something I feel like can,
Oh
it
yeah.
ebbs and flows. Like for you, when do you notice that? And then I guess what do you do about it in the moment?
So I think I really started noticing, I think probably after Riley turned 1.
Hmm.
It's like, up until 1, you're kinda mushy, like,
Yeah.
you're going to
Yeah.
daycare, like, it's fine, you're
Go
eating
with the
maybe.
flow.
Yeah, like, you're fine. But I think it was really once you start, like, walking a bit more, having
Hmm.
opinions of, like, your little personality, it's
Yeah.
coming now.
Yes.
And so I think with that came more of the mental load of how are we being cognizant, how are we being mindful,
Mm.
what are we juggling, what do we have going on, how is that showing up? And so I think really how I've looked at how do I balance that or handle it when I feel it picking up is really like what tools do I have in place, one, where can
Yes.
I give? Because I
Hmm.
think that people also talk about like work life balance. That is maybe for some.
Yeah.
For me, that is not
Yeah.
a real thing. Like
Hmm.
there is no balance between work and life. They ebb and
Yeah.
they flow and they
Mm.
have to move and shift and be flexible.
Yes.
And so I really think that it is one, I have a supportive supervisor.
Hmm.
I know not people can say this. I've always had women supervisors
Yeah.
my entire professional career. So I find that's really helpful to me of
Mm.
having that because I'm like, you get it. You have
Yeah.
2
You
kids.
understand.
So you understand what I'm saying, which was literally last week, Thursday. Hey, it's 9 a.m. and daycare just called that Riley has a fever. So as soon as I like pulled
Mm.
into this parking lot to park for
Ooh,
work,
those phone calls.
I'm gonna have to leave. And like that understanding that came with that of that
Yeah.
balancing act. So that I found has been really useful, and I know that not everyone can get that. Like, that's not
Mhm.
always going to be every supervisor. So
Yes.
I've been blessed and fortunate in that way. But I
Mhm.
think even if you don't have that, I think it really is like what systems, what village do you have? And I
Yes.
think again, I think the whole concept
Oh,
right now with
yeah.
like millennials and like what is a village? How are you planning to
Yeah.
role in your village? Like people don't
Yes.
have villages anymore. Like when I
No.
talk to my mom because she doesn't live far and she comes over and she helps on the weekends. She's like, yeah, she's like, y'all used to go to in-home daycare
Mhm.
and like her mom was around and her
Wow.
sisters were around. I said, that is not the
It's
reality
not
for
our
most
case.
people. How many
Mhm.
people are single parents? How many people
Mhm.
are here just transplants that have moved
Yeah.
that don't have anyone?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm
It's
worried about my
wild.
mental load with a quality partner with
Mhm.
family. I said, do
Yeah.
it. I don't know. So the village, I think, is another part of helping
Yeah.
take off that mental load of we have grandparents that are locked
Mhm.
in. They will come. They help. They bring dinner. So it's
Yes.
like one less thing I have to worry or think
Mhm.
about. So I think it's a lot of those things. And I mean, we're still trying every day of like, oh, I literally found a post last night on Instagram. I was like, meal plans. And it was like, okay,
Yeah.
Monday's pasta Monday. She gave you like 10
Mhm.
options. I said, I could do that. We love
Yeah.
pasta. And like, you just gave me, I can
Yes.
subscribe to this. Taco Tuesday. She gave, I said,
Yes.
that'll work for me.
Mhm.
So I think it's finding things that work for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you talk about the village too, sometimes I used to make this joke of just like, "Okay, we said, it takes a village to raise the kids. Do they knock on the door? Like, is there a calendar invite that I missed?" But I mean, really, sometimes it is that maybe you don't have a village, but
Hmm.
you may need to start figuring out how to build one.
Yes. Yes. And I've seen it a lot. Again, I'm not on TikTok. So that's
Mhm.
another thing that's probably saves my time.
Yes.
I'm already sucked in on Instagram as it is. And so I think I've seen a lot of posts on my feed have been like, how are you intentionally creating your village? How are you pouring into people and how are you showing up? Because it's not
Yeah.
just anticipating people showing up for you. You
Yeah.
also need to show up for them. Are you sending the check and text
Mm.
messages? Are you hosting the casual things? Because I think that what we've also done is how we built our and we're from Georgia. I feel like that's
Mhm.
important context. Like, we're from Georgia. We only moved away for 3.5 years. We came back when we knew we wanted to start a family. So our village is here and has always been here.
Yeah.
But I think we've thought about how do we branch out that village and how do we build it up being located here in Gwinnett County. I'm
Mhm.
from Fulton County.
Yeah.
And so how we transplant that. And so we do host parties. Like,
Mhm.
we want to
Yeah.
be the house that people come over to. Like, I
Yes.
that is like my goal as a parent. Like, I
Yes.
told some friend the other day, I said, that is my goal. I said, "I want the
Yeah.
kids to come and take your shoes off, like, the
Yeah,
fridge
feel
is stocked with
comfy.
stuff. Open the fridge, like,
Yes.
find your snack." Like, that is my dream as
Mhm.
a parent
Yeah.
of having that, and it's like, it starts young. So we have parties, like, we
Mhm.
have, like, fun in the sun. I did that last summer. I was like, "Come over." We
Yeah.
have an inflatable pool. I have a bubble maker that's on a stand, like, kids don't touch it. It's here, it's just to generate for you. I think I had, like, 2 pools, a splash
Yeah.
pad, like, all the things.
Yes.
I said, "Just come over." I said, "You don't have to worry about anything. We provide the food." So
Yeah.
I think it's like, how do you show up? How do
Yeah.
you create the environment in the spaces? And that was just parents. So
Mhm.
like people that didn't know each other, maybe from daycare, maybe from our like best friends, it was
Yes.
just like, you have a 4-year-old
It's
too?
like,
Like,
wow.
and they have new connections. So I think that's been a big part of how we build our village and what it looks like and how it means to show up intentionally. But it doesn't have to be that intense either.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things are just like, have pizza.
Yeah.
Like I think I saw one that was like, everyone bring over pizza.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the hang.
Doesn't have to
It
be intense.
it
Yeah.
doesn't. It can be simple.
I love that. Or even I'm gonna put this out there too, because I know we all go to the park.
Yes.
And I don't know, there's just like this thing of if you see your kids playing together, that's an opportunity.
Oh, I've done
Hey,
that. I'm that
let's
person.
chat.
Oh, I'm that person. I
Yeah.
definitely met a dad and his son,
Yeah.
and they were at the park, and they just moved here, and I said, "Yeah, we're having a party in 2
Yeah, like,
weeks."
come
I
over.
told my husband when I got home, I said, "Yeah, I met this man." He's like, "You did what?" I said, "Yeah, I gave him our address. It's fine." Came over, and it was great, and
Aw,
they had it was so
I love
fun.
that.
But yeah, I'm that
Yeah.
person.
Goodness, goodness. Okay, let's continue on this subject, right? Because we are telling people, like, yes, get yourself out there, start building your village. How do you then protect your energy when it starts feeling like people start to need things from you?
And so I think that's the hard thing of, like, showing up is, like,
Yeah.
you can't be the only one, and so I think that
Yeah.
really comes with setting boundaries.
Oh, yes.
And, like, I think that's the hardest part is, like,
Mhm.
I have to have a boundary and, like, I need you to respect it, but
Mhm.
even if someone's, like, not respecting the boundary, I'm still firm of, like, this is what I can do
Yeah.
for you, though, and this is
This
what
is
I
it.
can't do for you.
Mhm.
And, like, this is what showing up for me looks like right now and what
Yeah.
I can give.
Mhm.
And if that's enough, and that's frankly may not be enough, and you may need to go find another source of
Mm,
holding that boundary.
yeah.
And so I really think that when people are asking for a lot, like, I give deadlines.
Oh,
So I'm good to give someone a
yes.
deadline.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, I have my full-time job. I
Mhm,
also help do event planning for
mhm,
Raylanas of Duluth Swanee, so it's like
mhm,
children consignment. And so with that comes a part of doing this whole process, setting up VIP consigners.
mhm.
Essentially, you get their stuff ready for them, put it out, you get a
Yeah.
percentage. So I'm doing that for one of my friends, and she's like, "Oh, I dropped something off. I left it in the cubby at daycare." And I said, "You have until this deadline to give me all of the things that you want
Oh,
processed,
yeah,
because
there we
after
go.
that, I need to move on to the next person."
Mhm.
And so, like, I'm doing this,
Yeah.
I'm getting it done, but I
Mhm.
also need the deadline. I need you to respect the boundary because I can't go beyond that. I can't have you just giving me random
Yeah.
things throughout this entire time period.
Yes.
So I think, like, for me, that's how, like, I established the boundary. I was very upfront about it. I'm
Mhm.
also, as my personality is a very direct person.
Yes.
So I'm like, with kindness, with care, but I'm like, this is what we're gonna do and this is
Yeah.
what we're not gonna do. So
Yes.
I think it's really that. I think also recognizing what you have to give.
Yeah, your word.
Yeah, like your worth, but like,
Yes.
do you have the energy to show up? Like,
Yeah,
only you can answer that. And it's like,
yeah.
you have to be okay with, like, I think also pulling back.
Mhm.
I think it's hard about, like, yes, I committed to this birthday party, but you know what? I had a
I
hard week
can't.
at work, and I just
Yeah.
can't. And, like,
Yeah.
that's okay
Mhm.
because if they're in your village, if you're trusted in your village,
Yes.
then we know that's not common like, you're
Yeah.
not a person that flakes.
Yeah.
It's like you okay, you really need your time back,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Mhm.
But I think, like, that balance of how you've always shown up, I think how you are known, because I think
Mhm.
that really, it's really about, like, what's your currency?
Yeah.
What is your, like, currency in the village? What's the trust? What are the
Mhm.
relationships? Who wants you to show up? Who expects you to show up? How
Yeah.
are you been showing up? That's all establishing your currency in the village or with your community.
Yes.
And so if you've established that, and I think if you've done that well,
Mhm.
then you're a trusted member of the village.
Yeah,
And, like, whatever you need, you are able to take, and also whatever you can give is also
that's
appreciated.
true. Yes. I love that. Okay. So let's kind of circle back a little bit because we're talking about you starting to get your kids, into
Mhm.
activities. What does that look like? What does you guys' capacity look like? What does
Yeah.
that balance look like, right? Without overcommitting and
Yeah.
being like, okay, one activity here, one activity another
Yeah.
day. Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a
So
lot.
I just love the way that you're approaching it in such like an intentional and powerful way. Say like, yes, my kids each need their time, but also we don't want this to be like we're bouncing around all throughout.
No.
I guess I want to ask this question
Go for
because, growing up, especially just becoming a mom, what did you grow up thinking like kids like should be doing? I think that
it.
that has been shifting and changing,
Yeah.
especially in our generation.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that my kids are doing, I didn't necessarily I didn't
Mm-mm.
necessarily do.
No, I
Um,
mean, I don't know, I think it's interesting. So, my mom has 3 kids,
mhm.
but my older brother's 13 years older than me. So, it was
Oh,
like I was
wow.
the middle,
Oh,
but
yeah.
also the oldest. I mean, by the time
Yeah.
I'm 5, he's 18. He went and joined
Yeah.
the armed forces, so it was like,
Oh,
yeah, it was like
yeah,
weird
you're the
in between.
oldest.
Yeah, it was like a weird space.
Yeah.
And so I wanna say that, and, like, my parents had both moved down here from New York.
Mhm.
So they were also transplants and moved down here, but my mom
Yeah.
was one of 6. So
Okay.
when she moved, like, in a number of years, her
Yeah.
whole family moved. Like, all of her siblings had moved
Oh,
down, like, her mom had moved down.
yeah.
So, like, we had always had that village,
Yeah.
so we had always had the community, had the family, and so my parents were intentional about, like, I remember doing gymnastics. Like,
Yeah.
I have distinctive memories of being, like, in Alpharetta, Georgia,
Ye
at a gym, like, doing gymnastics, so, like, I had
Yeah.
exposure to that. My mom does not know how to swim, so
Mm,
she made sure me and my brother knew how to swim. Like, that was
yeah.
something she was very intentional about.
Mhm.
So I think we always had the opportunity to be involved. Like,
Yes.
I remember playing the recorder like you do in elementary school. I remember
Mhm.
I played the flute throughout middle school and high school. So I
Yeah.
remember being provided the opportunity to go and engage and have activities that were
Yes.
like my own choosing.
Mhm.
Now, I will say that for my husband and I now, like, we're probably exposing him to more than I was ever exposed to. So, like, I never
Mhm.
did team sports.
Yeah.
That was
Same.
never not even something exposed to. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, what is that? So, like, we're intentional. Like, Henry, try soccer. Like, if you don't like it,
Yeah.
that's fine. You don't have to do it again, but,
Yes.
like, try it.
Mhm.
Try T-ball.
Mhm.
He doesn't really like T-ball. My husband said, "One more time." I said, "Fine." He's closer to 4, maybe he'll do it better.
Yeah.
But, like, he's like, "I like ice skating." So it's like, "Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep it with activity that you tell us you want to do." And so I think that's
Mhm.
also the thing we're noticing in our generation of,
Yes.
you
This
say
is
no,
important.
and I
Yeah.
take your no at a 4.
Yes.
I trust that you know what you like and that you don't like it,
Mhm.
and it's not like it's a no forever. Like, maybe at 7, you're like, "That sounds great.
Try
I
that
wanna do it
again.
again."
Yeah.
But I think that's the other part that I think is the big generational difference of, like, the respect I think we're giving kids at a younger age
Yes.
of, like, "You told me no. You meant no.
Mhm.
Okay. We'll
Yes.
try something different."
Yeah. Teaching them already, like, your
Yes.
no means no, and it's okay to say it, even
Yes.
to your parents.
Yes. Yes, and
Yes.
that whole, like,
Yes.
dichotomy of respect is
Whew.
way different
Oh,
than it
yeah.
used to
Oh,
be.
yeah. And sometimes it tests me too because we still have our parents in the back of our
Oh,
head. It's
yeah.
just like, my mom would have never
Nope. I'm
let
sorry,
me get away.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
also
test, and it's just I don't know.
so much about, like, the archetypes of parenting anyways right now.
Yeah.
It's like, are you the F around and find out
Mhm.
parent? Are you the gentle
Yeah.
parent? Like, where do you fall
Sometimes
in
a
that?
little bit of
Oh, yeah,
both.
I said, "You're just gonna learn, Shan." Like, "You done it. We told you not to do it. Are you okay?
Oh.
But
Oh
you won't do that again, will
gosh.
you?" "No." "Okay."
Oh, okay. So let's talk about launching the
Yes.
business. Okay, y'all. Nicole, I love that she's just jumping into this. If you don't know,
Yeah.
and what you've seen it on my Instagram. If
Yeah.
you haven't, go check it out. But season conversations, when I tell you a big part of my support system were the women that just started to almost like circle around me in support. Nicole was one of those women, and she is launching something so beautiful that is so needed just in our community as we're literally
Mhm.
talking about building the village and making it so things don't have to be so hard. Me building season conversations, like, yes, I have the dream and the vision,
Mhm.
but when I tell you, like, the support, the genius, the brain behind making sure, like, things go off without a hitch, that's Nicole. So let's talk about what you've been
Yeah.
building with Dreamy Den's company. How has it felt just starting to build this out, this dream that I'm sure has just been on your heart?
It's been interesting. So, like, I've always done event planning through different aspects of my professional job
Mhm.
anyway, so it's
Yeah.
always been a component of it. And I
Mhm.
said, "Well, I've built the skill set, so,
Yeah.
like, why not use the skill set?"
Yes.
So I will tell you, like, Dreamy Dens was I saw something on Facebook and I
Mhm.
said, "That could be really cool." It was all about, like, TP tents, this rental sleepover, and
Yes.
said, "I could do that."
Yeah.
So I think I literally
100%.
contacted the
Just
person
do
that is like someone that I said, "I'll buy all of your stuff." And I said,
Yeah.
"Okay." So we have this stuff.
Yeah.
So that was like the first part of like, I saw something. I said, "Let's not try it." Talking to my husband, I was like, "It only costs this much money." I said, "Even if I like decide
Yeah.
not to launch
You
this part
still
of
have
something, like that is nominal compared to not trying at all." So that was really the genesis of it of what started
yeah.
having that. And then I thought more about it and I was like, well, yeah, like part of setting up this like Dreamy Den, so this tent rental business is the event planning component. I said, I could do that. And I
Yeah.
could do that for other things. I
Yeah.
said, I've had to plan things for work from concerts to
Mhm.
like smaller events. I said, I've done the gamut, so I can do that. So that's when you were helping out with Raylana's of like, and you
Yes.
said this, and I said, okay, let me know. And I think you
Yeah.
thought I was kidding at first.
I did.
I was like, no, I said, for real, let me know. I said, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And so I said, yeah. And so I think that's the part that I'm really excited about building out. I think all of Dreamy Dens is going to be really great. We're
Yeah.
looking at launching the website in about 2 weeks, which I'm really excited
Yes.
about. Like, I'll
Yeah.
have all the packages, but I'm also wanting it to be like, I don't know, for me, this business is not necessarily like, yes, making money, making a difference in the community, but I also want it to make things easier for people. Like, I want you to
Mhm.
be able to have a birthday party, whether it's
Yeah.
a sleepover or my idea really is for sleep unders, because
Mhm.
I can out like say, I'm like, I'm one of those parents that like, my kids are probably never going to go to a sleepover
Mhm.
unless it's one of the trusted few. But a sleep under, have them stay late, have this whole setup. I think
Yes.
that's ideally the market for dreamy dens of like the
Yeah.
parents that like you want to do that, you want to throw your kid a cool themed experience, this is
Yes.
for you. I have looked at this business model in other places around Gwinnett County.
Mm.
I really want to offer a DIY option. So a
Mm.
DIY option would be you come, pick the stuff up for me, and you can set it up for a lower cost. So I
Yeah.
also want it to be accessible.
Yes.
Like that's really important to me of just because you may not be able to afford the larger
Mhm.
package doesn't mean that you don't want to give something special to your
Mm.
child because
Yeah.
that is every parent's goal.
100%.
And so if I can make it easier of like a DIY tutorial video, here you go,
Yeah. Here's
or
up.
all the better. Like,
Mhm.
have at it. And so I think that part and I think the event planning part, I'm still figuring out what exactly do I want that to look like.
Yeah.
I think working with you in season conversations has really given me a glimpse into what I want to do. Like, I
Yeah.
want long-term clients.
Yeah.
Like, am I happy to do the one-off event?
Yeah.
Yeah. but to be with someone to help them build from the ground up of, like, what is their vision.
Yeah.
And for me, ultimate knowing, like, at some point, Ebony may not need me. And for
Yeah.
me, that's okay. But I think
Mhm.
that's okay
Yeah.
because having been there with someone to have supported them when they needed it most,
Mm.
when it was most critical for them,
Yeah.
to then see them go off and like do what they wanted to do, I said, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
that's ideal.
yeah. Goodness. Okay, so how are you feeling about holding this ambition and motherhood at the same time? Because I know there are a
Yeah.
lot of our listeners that are the same, right? They maybe have the 9 to 5,
Hmm.
they're building a business, and they're also like a mama, right?
Yeah.
So how are you holding both?
I really think it's going to come from, I mean, we keep talking about it, but that village, but even so, like your partner, if you
Mhm.
have a partner, because some of these are
Mhm.
single mamas out here doing the work.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
I really think it's how are people showing up because you also have to contend with yourself that you are giving something up.
Yeah.
Time is finite, like we said. You
Mhm.
only have so many hours in a day. And if you are choosing, like me, to go set up a party or be an event planner,
Yeah.
that is going to take away from family time. That is going to
Mhm.
have to shift things and shift how and where you can show up. But I think that's again where it comes with how are you intentional with your time?
Yes.
How are you really, if you can, plan for that and
Mhm.
scale it. And so I think that's the other thing for moms that are starting their own business. Like, no one can tell you what to do. And I think that was
Mhm.
the other main reason, like, I saw business I could have signed up to be an event planner and helped out, but I was like, but I want to be able to decide what to do with my time, and I wanna be able, like we said, to have boundaries saying no,
Uh,
to set that calendar of like, "You know
yes.
what? School is out for a week,
Yeah.
2 kids at home for a week, like, I can't do nothing else but
Not
this."
doing things. Yeah.
And so I really think that's the part of taking that ownership of wanting to start the business, running the
Mhm.
business that at no other point in your life can you tell your time what to do than
Yeah.
when you are owning and starting something, and, like,
Oh,
it's yours.
yeah.
So I think, like, that's the really cool part of how I hold space for that,
Mhm.
how I figured out the balance for that. My partner is great, so
Yeah.
he is super helpful. Like, this entire week, I'm like, "I gotta get to work, like, I have these things to do." So he's done drop off and pick off every day. Today was the first day I stepped foot into daycare this week because he's just been doing
Yeah.
it all, and so I think
Yeah.
that management, but
Support.
also those conversations of what does support look like, and,
Mhm.
like, how can you be upfront of, like, "This is going to take a lot. We're
Mhm.
in this together. Let's
Yeah.
talk about what the shift will look like. Who can
Mhm.
we tap in?" Like I said, my mom comes every weekend, so
Mhm.
that's super helpful. So
Yeah.
she's able to come in and be part of that. My in-laws come in once a week, so they're able to help with those nights that they
Mhm.
come in and really help take some of that load off. And so
Yeah.
we were able to really pull on our village to make it work, which really helps me then balance of having a 9 to 8 to 5 with
Mhm.
commutes each way,
Yeah.
balancing how am I keeping the kids involved, engaged, but being present. I think that's the other part, being present with them and for the things they're doing, while
Mhm.
also launching a business and making sure that I'm putting energy into that to launch successfully. Because I think that's
Yes.
the thing is, if you're not gonna put the time and energy into it, maybe right now is not the season for it. And
That's
that's okay.
true. Yeah.
Like,
Just
that's
to be honest
okay. You have to
about
be
it.
honest with yourself. Like,
Mhm.
maybe right now is not the time.
Mhm.
Would I
Yeah.
recommend people doing what I'm doing with starting a business when you have a 4-year-old and 2-year-old? Like, maybe not. Like,
Yeah.
it's a pull. Like, it
It
is a pull.
is.
Like, on some days, I'm like, "Should I maybe wait until they were older? A little bit more
Yeah.
self-sufficient?" Like, it would
Yeah.
have been easier,
Mhm.
but I was like honestly, season conversations was the spark of, like, "If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it now." Like, we're gonna go. Like, we're gonna
Yeah.
do it and do it now. And so
Yeah.
we said, "We're gonna figure it out." That's
Mhm.
what we've been doing.
Yeah. I feel like that's the season I'm very much in, y'all. Figuring it out, but you see, like, as you figure it out, and I talk about this too with meal planning, is you keep figuring out, you keep
Mhm.
trying, you build your confidence, and before you know it, you're like,
I did it.
"It all makes sense now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Like, I'll
part
definitely do this.
because you can do it. It's like,
Mhm.
it's never self-doubt, self-confidence, but I really think it's a conversation of is now the right time.
Yeah.
Like, I had bought all this stuff for Dreamy Dens mid last year,
Mhm.
and I just let it sit in storage. I was like,
Yeah.
"This is not the
Not at this
time.
time.
I do not have the capacity. This is not
Mhm.
the space."
Yeah.
And so it wasn't really till I was like, "Okay, like, what can we take on?
Yeah.
What is a full launch or what is a partial launch?"
Yes.
And, like, are you okay with that of, like, maybe you have this one nugget that you're able
Mhm.
to do. It may not be the whole gold mine, but that
Yeah.
one nugget, we can do it well, and we
Mhm.
can slowly build out.
Yes. I love that. Goodness. Okay. So for the mama, let's let's go back to that mental load
Yes.
because we need some tools.
Yeah.
Nicole. For the mama who knows that she's carrying too much right now in her head, she's got the 27, maybe more tabs
Mhm.
open. What is like one shift that she can make this week to
Ooh.
help with those tabs?
I think that shift is, like, write it all down. Like, that's my
Mhm.
first thing is, like,
Yes.
write it all down,
Mm,
like, just make the running list, and that's
mhm,
writing, speaking it out to
mhm,
chat, Gemini, whatever your preferred AI is, like, put
mhm.
it somewhere.
Yeah.
And then, especially if you're using AI,
Mhm.
have it prioritize for you. It may see things that you don't, and so I
Yeah.
think, like, use the tools that are around you,
Mhm.
get it all out of your head. Because once
Yes.
it's out of your head, you're like, "Is that really a task?
Yeah.
Is that something I really need to be doing?"
Mm.
Like, for ours, all the tabs, like, my kids are doing all these different things, and I said, "I'm registering Henry for ice skating again."
Mhm, mhm.
I could have done it a month ago, but I was like, "But why am I rushing it?" He's
Yeah.
not done ice skating until this week. I said, "I
Yeah.
have 4 weeks."
Mhm.
So even though that tab was open for me of like, I know I need to register for ice skating, I know it's coming up, I was really able to look at my whole list and be like, "I got time."
I can
I
wait.
said, "Yeah, like, that can wait, and I have more
Yeah.
pressing things that I can do." So I really
Mhm.
think that if you're able to take that, like, large scale view of all of the tabs, all the things,
Yeah.
prioritize it and time it, that will really help. I'm a big person of, like, lists and organization. You can be over-organized. I will say there are too if you have too many systems,
Mhm.
it probably won't work out.
Yeah.
But, like, I really like I'm an Apple person through and through. I use my notes app, so when we're talking
Mhm.
about, like, the invisible load of switching kids' closets,
Mhm.
which is a big thing in my household,
Yes.
because, like, I do a full switch. I'm not a seasonal switch girly, like, we're full like, Henry's
Yeah.
in his full 4T closet, like, that is
Yeah.
it. I did it
Mhm.
once. Riley too, and I switched them the same weeks. I said,
Mhm.
"I'm done. That is it."
Mm.
But you know I have pictures of everything I've purchased. I knew it was in their sizes. I have a spreadsheet that way I knew what else I need to
Oh
purchase
my
for them.
goodness.
So when I unpacked their closet, I was
Yeah.
like, "Riley doesn't have a lot of pants." So I knew what I
Mhm.
needed to order, so that also just helped me keep really organized,
Yeah.
and I wasn't, like, day of figuring out, like, "You
Uh-oh.
only got, like, 2 pairs of shorts,
Oh,
like, what are we gonna do
no.
today?" So I think, like, that really helped, but I think
Mhm.
it's also, like, you have to take the time to build it in, so it's
Mhm.
also committing to maybe it's a Saturday morning,
Yeah.
and, like, just 2 hours,
Yeah.
like, can help you set up a system and put something in place. Because I think
Yes.
something I've been reading a lot about and looking at is, like, how do you have time for the family? How do you have time for yourself? And how do you balance that with your partner? So
Yeah.
me and my partner are gonna try soon is that concept of, like, you get 2 hours. The hope, the goal, we are all competent parents, so you're
Mhm.
trusting your partner to watch the kids. You have 2 hours to do whatever you want. That's freeing in a sense.
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
freeing of, like, we have the family activity, so, like, what is and that's you and your partner having meetings, so, what is the planned family thing we know we're doing this week and that
Mhm.
we want to accomplish? When
Yes.
is your 2 hours gonna be best for you?
Mhm.
The morning? Is it the afternoon? Is it the evening? Like, making that work and that figuring out, and that way you know, and there's a boundary,
Yeah.
and there's a limit on it of, like, I know that if I wanted to go to Pilates and do that on my
Mhm.
Saturday morning, if I wanted to go and sit at a coffee shop and just write down dreamy things and, like, start working on stuff, like, I know my 2 hours to use how I want.
Yeah.
That way it's off. Like, once
Yeah.
that task is done, the clearing of your mind, and, like, you're ready to lock in and be present with the family, you're ready to do those things, then
Yes.
also affording your partner the same opportunity.
Mhm.
Because how you could be such a better parent and a better
Mhm.
partner if
Yeah.
you feel like you have time and space to also be your person and be your own self.
Yeah.
I think those all
Oh,
matter.
I love that. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm gonna take
You
that
should.
away. Like,
I feel and it's
that's
not
really
even
important.
hard. I think even if people wanna start off soft, like, an hour.
Mhm.
Like, you
Yeah.
have the kids for an hour.
Yes.
I am going to go do whatever I need to do. Start
Mhm.
small. And that's the
Yeah.
thing, it's like, you don't have to be a grand half a day. No.
Yeah.
But, like, a reasonable hour to 2
Mhm.
hours, that should theoretically work,
Yeah.
hopefully for most families.
Mhm. Goodness. Okay. So before we close today, I want to give our listeners a place to land.
Yeah.
So we're all gonna take a breath. If you're driving, please don't close your eyes. I always have to remind them. Okay. And if your mind feels like it has 27 tabs open,
Mhm,
maybe 40 if you're a business owner as well, I want to remind you today that you're not behind, you're not failing, you are carrying a lot. Like it is a lot. And like Nicole said, write that list.
mhm,
Write that list because sometimes with it being all up in our head, we can get scrambled. We can bounce back and forth between what task is
mhm,
most important right now. I think really, like Nicole told us, like writing that list, prioritizing what needs to be done, like right now, today,
mhm,
and what can I push off until later. And so that's your reflection this week is what's one thing, just one thing you can stop holding right now. Just one of the 27 tabs. And it's not forever. but maybe just put it on the back burner for a week or even just a few days, right? Is it a conversation you're needing to have?
Mhm.
Is it a task you need to complete, like those pre-K applications?
Yep.
Is it lowering the bar on something that you have put high priority on that maybe isn't as high priority as you thought? Use your tools. AI, honestly, it is a second pair of eyes.
Mhm.
Like, it tells us things and ask us questions and say, like, "Is that really that important
Mhm.
this week, or have you just put so much importance on this thing? And maybe these other things are what's actually important." So use the tools. Just a reminder, you don't have to feel like your cup is completely empty to feel like you're a good mother at
Mm-mm.
the end of the
No.
day. Exhaustion is not the goal at all. You don't want to be exhausted every single day. And like burning out is not a part of being a business owner. It's like, oh, if you burned out, then you made it.
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are building businesses. We're going after our goals. We're building these dreams, keeping in mind that we still are human, we still are people, we still have, if you're listening to this and you're a mom, we still have tiny people to take
Mhm.
care of, partners to take care of, and ourselves, right? We're not burning out. So let's make sure that we are truly thriving through it all. And I really hope that just everything Nicole shared with us today, I hope that you take it to heart and put some of that to use this week. So Nicole, tell the people like where they can find
Yes.
you, where they can get connected.
Yes. So I just had to make a Facebook page because
Yes.
Meta. I'm learning
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah.
Because 'cause let's be clear, I'm not like a social media girly either,
Yeah.
not really. So on Instagram, Dreamy Dens Events, you'll be able to find us there, which is
Mhm.
great, and then we do have a Facebook page that has 0 followers, so maybe one of you will be
Oh
the
yeah.
first
Yeah.
because we
Me.
just made it. We just
Yes.
made it, and find us on there and, like, please reach out.
Hmm.
Like, whether you need the
Yeah.
services or not, my
Yeah.
biggest thing is being part of someone's village, like, ask
Yes.
the questions.
Hmm.
I'm pretty much an open book most of the time in my life, so
Yeah.
ask away.
Yeah.
All of it.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Well, we will see you back here next week.
Bye.